Nostalgia is a really big part of motorsport. Colour schemes, racing teams, and even entire cars will be designed and made to be like the good old days. But there is one thing that they don't try to make like the old days or try to copy like the old days, and that's the engine. You don't see BMW running anything like their P60 B40 V8 from the M3 GTR these days, and you certainly don't see Toyota running a 2JZ in their racing cars. So I decided to take a couple of old racing engines and put them into current GT3 cars to see how they'd hold up, and ignoring the size and fitting the engine into the car and stuff like that to prove that you could in theory just stick an old engine in and it would work. So I decided to take the 3.6 litre V8 out of the Bentley Speed 8 and put it into the Bentley Continental GT3, and then also take the Audi Quattro inline 5 turbocharged engine and put it into the back of the R8 GT3. So without further ado, let's see how it goes. Starting off of course with the Bentley, I'm at Dragon Trail Seaside from Gran Turismo. And starting off here, I get a really good launch. This V8 does give a lot of acceleration, but not quite a lot of top speed, so it's not too dissimilar to the way the Bentley is by default. Now, with the two races I do here, I do have a few issues with the AI, I must admit. They are set to their absolute maximum, but they aren't really that great. I am not sure if that's just the engine being overpowered, but I decided to start from the back in both of them as I just fly past a few cars. Coming onto the inside of this AMG GT3, I'd make a bit of contact. I was a little bit sloppy. Still trying to get accustomed to the weight of this Continental. Of course, this is actually the second one I did. The R8 I actually recorded first, so I'm still adjusting to the different characteristics of the car. Holding on to the back of the AMG, you can see just the exits out of the corner is way more potent. Quite a lot of acceleration coming down to the hairpin here. Searching around, trying to find a way around that won't end me in someone's rear bumper. And I make it past the mark on the heels of this McLaren. Now, instead, of course, the death chicane isn't quite as exciting. The cars kind of slow down and keep to realistic track limits instead of just launching over the insides of them like you do in Gran Turismo. But keeping on the back of this McLaren, much better exit out of that corner. And now I'm on the back of this BMW, what am I on about? Aston Martin. My goodness, where am I today? And just straight up the inside, but contact. I failed to anticipate that he was there. I do feel he came in on me a little bit, but either way, he is gone. Now, the Porsche. Just, yeah, there goes the Porsche, and that's pretty much it. And now, the GTR, and I actually have a little bit of a tussle here. Go around the outside on the first part of the chicane here, and I look through the inside, but the GTR does make a little bit of a slip, and I have to back off. But then once we get out of there, it's fine and we're on a bit of straight. And now I'm coming up to the back of a normal Continental. This is of course the thing with the BOP series, this car being so heavy, it does by default have quite a lot more power than the other cars. So you can expect the acceleration to be fairly high anyway, and the corner performance to be very poor, which it is. As you can see, I am struggling quite a lot. It does slide around a fair amount, but I am keeping on the back of this other GT3 Bentley and just trying to search for a gap. He does eventually move over, and now I'm behind this Lambo, being very careful. I do make a little bit of contact, and then bloody hell, the other Bentley just goes straight into my side. But we recover from that, thankfully, and I'm on the back of this Lambo again. You might notice the lack of Lamborghini Huracan. I did notice a few missing cars in my files from transferring from one PC to the other, so as I'm recording this, Assetto Corsa is reinstalling. As I go down the inside of this Lambo, and of course there's no competition when we get to the corner exit. And there is a slide, but yeah, it doesn't really affect me that much. catching up to a big pack of cars here right in front of me, which is a lot of straight line overtaking opportunities for me. Inside of this Aston Martin, bit of contact, very, very light contact. I managed to slow down just in time before it was anything criminal, if you will. Down the inside of this Acura, or Honda, I think this is the Acura because it's the IMSA spec, and easy pass, but he is holding on the back of me, and I've been consistently messing up this particular corner. I think I'm still trying to take it like I would in Gran Turismo, and the Acura gets back past me. Looking around, seeing if I can find a way around through this section. Acura still on the inside. I can't quite take that preferred line, but I will hold on the back of him and just wait for the straight, because I am close enough that I can just press the go pedal and just send it past. But I do get very, very unsettled on that corner exit. Looking around here, looking to make a double move potentially on this Ferrari, but I have to play it safe just so I don't absolutely bin it and have to record all over again. And the Acura will look on my inside, but it's not really on. And the Ferrari, oh, that was a little bit of a poor move from me. I just didn't think that Ferrari would slow down quite so much. Staying behind him, just to be fair, I'm not going to lunge or just continue the move like that, you know what I mean. So we'll keep going on the straight, and boom, big move down the inside. Will I make it stick? I'm past the Ferrari anyway, but he is on the outside just so slightly behind me, and now he's gone. And now it's a drag race with this Nissan, but that's pretty much it for the rest of the race. And I will come across the line to finish in 4th, which isn't bad from last, but of course it was an OP car. Now I did make a bit of a bollocks here. The camera wasn't recording, basically, was what was happening, which is why this is the footage I'm showing second, with the iconic 5-cylinder turbo. Now I did have to turn the turbo down to 80% for the AI to have even half a chance, because the AI, I think it's mainly the track. The AI, I was having a lot of issues. I had to make a few attempts because they were crashing. But following the pack here, looking around, this is a great street circuit. Tokyo R246, man, my childhood. But it's really fun racing with proper physics and proper cars as well. Memories from playing Gran Turismo Concept mainly for me, as this Mercedes makes a mistake and I get a free overtake. Thank you very much. Down to the next section here, and the Aston Martin makes a mistake, and I get another free overtake and a couple of free overtakes because the AI just slow down whenever a flippin' leaf flies out in front of them. And this Aston really diving down my inside. I have to actually stick some wheels onto the curbing on the side, on the footpath, and I get a nice smooth line which gives me a good exit. And you'll notice the same thing here. I do have the better acceleration but not a big top speed advantage, but it's less noticeable here, where I'll actually be having interesting drag races. It basically it's only as potent with the slipstream. Coming down the straight into turn 1, and look to the inside. Now I have to get out of that move because I see the Aston Martin send it to the inside, and even though he's in the wrong, it's better than being crashed out of the race. And I kind of just have to pull away from it as these two behind me start fighting. It gives me a bit of room. Coming up to this squabbling couple in front of me, I think this is a lap ahead now, and they both, well, I think only the McLaren touches the wall there upon further inspection. And I go down the inside of this Nissan. I lose the rear a little bit though, so he ultimately keeps his position as the Aston Martin comes back into view behind me. But it's not really a concern for me. Hot on the heels of this Nissan, looking to maybe make a move into the final complex here, and looking on the inside, but there isn't really a move on quite yet. But looking to make a better exit, so I kind of keep a neater line, a little bit of contact but nothing too extreme, and I keep in the slipstream, keeping the massive slipstream of that thing. Coming down the straight, and you can see I'm starting to creep ahead a bit, and looking, it's probably most of my advantage was probably just from slipstream. He makes a big move down the inside, kind of understeers into me a little bit. I was on a tighter line than he was anyway, so I think that was an inevitable piece of contact, but nothing too serious. Looking around the outside, having to keep it careful, but I do press him all the way across the curb, and I ultimately get a better exit, but I still need to make sure he doesn't lunge or anything and keep him behind me. Really on my rear bumper, but he starts dropping once that Aston gets past him, and then that was pretty much it for the rest of the race. So I thought a fun little experiment. I've always loved the engines as much as the cars when it comes to the old racing stuff, particularly that 5-cylinder, and just that iconic sound. So if you like this video, do please subscribe and leave a like. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers hopefully by the end of the year. And I do have a new Discord server that's being properly run with daily activities, whatever you want to flip and call them. And I have an Instagram now, though I won't be posting there very much. It was a art account I used a long time ago that I'm just repurposing into a YouTube account now. So that's really all, and a donation link if you like what I do, but that's mainly for the modding stuff, so I wouldn't concern yourself with that much. But with that said, have a good day, and I'll see you out in the track.